Sometimes when you are given a message to talk about something and you say to yourself, it's not my niche, it's not my business, I don't want to talk about this, what will people say? And you hear it is not about you or about what people will say, but it's about whom it will benefit. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Please, if you haven't subscribed, could you please kindly click the red subscribe button? If you have subscribed, Gloria Chizio is saying thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So today I want to talk about something very vital, something very important. Why sometimes a lot of persons may be doing some of these natural things and they keep complaining it's not working for them, they don't see result, they don't do this. Meanwhile, it could be as a result of some little things they are doing that is making these things not to work. Now, I woke up today hearing everyone has the way they hear their chi talk to them. Sometimes, yes, I ask my chi, what should I talk about today? And I heard talk about these two scenarios. I shrugged. I said, no, it's not my business, it's not my niche, I can't talk about something like that. And I heard it's not about you. Using myself as a case study, I will talk about two scenarios. Some things people do that brings about blockages their way. Once in a while, we'll be talking about other things other than putting out remedies. Number one is, I want to talk about something that happened in 2019, sometime in 2019. I secured a job somewhere. This job, I only spent 12 days in this job. Within these 12 days, 6 persons were employed after me, but all 6 persons left this job. Some, maybe take for example, someone even came for just one day. After that one day work, the person disappeared. He didn't come back. Some we spent just 2 days. Within 12 days of me being employed, I spent only 12 days. 6 people came after me and they all left before me. Now, why are they leaving? Using my own self as a case study. In this life, some people play God. In this life, some people, when they are at the top, in quotes, because depending on what you call the top, they see others as less human. They see others as slave. Now, this place is owned by a woman. The business is run by a woman, a very rich woman, and her family, her husband and her kids. But I have seen another level of maltreatment in that place. Now, take for example, one Sunday, she was driving out to go to church. I was in the office trying to pack a customer's request goods. While I was busy packing it, she drove, and I greeted her, "Good morning, ma." She drove past me. She stopped at the gate. She asked the gate man to call me. When I came, met her, she wind down the window and she said, "You didn't greet me." I said, "Ma, I greeted you." She said to me, "You don't greet me seated. Like I shouldn't sit down and greet her." So the way she's driving off, I am supposed to stand up or whatever and say, "Good morning, ma." Some of you play God because of where you think you have arrived. What did I do? I apologized and I said, "Sorry, ma." That day, thank God I was the only one in the office. I went in, cried my eyes out. I was the only one in the office. I went in, cried my eyes out, and I said something to God. I said, "God, when you bless me in life, I will not treat others this way. Now, remember the promises you make to God. Very important. That is one. Another day, we usually wear this black top. I was given only one. We are given only one. So what we usually do is, because she provided accommodation, is we wash and wear. If you know it's dirty, the next when you come back at night, say around 10 p.m., close 10 p.m., when you come back, you wash it to wear the next day. So I washed it and it didn't get dried. I wore a white top, a white polo to the office. When she saw me, why are you on white? I told her, ma, I washed my uniform or whatever and it's not dried. She said I should go and wear it. Be careful how you treat others in life. I went back. I cry. I'm an empathy. I cry. I wore it like that. I came back. Another day she walked into the office. There was no customers that moment to be attended to. I was relaxed like this, like leaning my back to the chair. She said to me, look at how you are sitting like you are seated in your father's parlor. This is just but a few from so many things. Now, this job says, when I came for interview, she said, we're going to be feeding you, giving you food once a day because we live there. For the 12 days I stayed there, there was no food. You feed yourself. So I asked the two persons I met there. In fact, those two persons even left while I was still there. Now, you wonder why did I stay that long? I tried to persevere. I will tell you why I stayed that long. Because of what I was going through, where I am coming from. So I made up my mind to suffer whatever it is. I don't want to go back to where I was living, where I'm coming from. So that was why I stayed up to 12 days. And those I met there say they have never given them food or anything. Now, why did I tell you this part of the story? Some of you are extremely wicked. Yes. Because God has blessed you, the only way you can say God, some of you are so humble when you are not blessed. But because God has blessed you, the only way you can say God, thank you, is the way you treat others. Can I tell you one funny thing? That Sunday, I was made to understand that she is a pastor's wife. Yes, like this kind of people that have a position, mommy position in church. Now, what am I trying to say? Know God for yourself. Some of you are just extraordinary wicked. You make others cry. You make others cry tears of pain to God, asking God, why? God, why? God, why? Now, sometimes a lot of persons have been doing some of these things and saying it's not working for me. Look inward. How will it work for you when you treat your fellow human being like they are animals just because God has given you privilege? Everything we have comes from God. It takes a second for God to bless a man, and it also takes a second for God to say enough is enough, especially when you treat others the way you are not supposed to treat them. Search yourself. Stop being inhuman to others. Now, that is number one. Another thing, the second thing is, now you wonder where was I coming from that I don't want to go back to. I was living with a family. Blood. When I mean blood, I mean blood. My own blood, you understand? I was living with a family. I was basically like a slave there. I never knew that your own blood can treat you that way. I don't want to go into much detail. Now, that was why when I got that job, I saw it as a very big opportunity. I packed my things and I ran. I said, whatever I'm seeing in this job, I will stay there. But do you know what? I spent 12 days and I left the job. Now, where I was coming from, again, some of you family members are also very extremely wicked. When you live with your older or younger ones, because for that moment, they are under your roof, under your mercy, you treat them like they have come to serve you. You don't longer do anything in your house. This is your blood. You make them shed tears to God. Now, some of you use your tongue to bring them down. Some of you are too wicked. You all know one anything we know. But because you don't owe someone anything does not mean that if you decide to help them, then you now help them like they are nothing. Now, this brings me to also be careful what people say to you. Always counter negative words spoken to you. If you're so scared to say it in their presence, when you leave their presence, counter it. When you live with a family member, and sometimes the husband will tell you, even if it's house girl job, go and look for house girl job. Oh, I am not bringing down those that are working, because I have done the house help job without even pay. I'm not bringing down. It's a honorable job, a very honorable job. But when the person that is saying it to you is saying it like, I don't even know the best language to use. When someone will tell you, oh, this food you cook is very nice, or you can cook, why don't you consider starting mama put? Now, there is nothing bad in starting mama put. In fact, during the pandemic, I was looking for where to start frying yam after the pandemic, because I was tired of looking for a job. Yes, God bear me witness. I'm not saying this because of video. So you understand there is nothing bad in selling mama put. But when someone is saying it to you like they are praying it into your life, what is bad in saying, okay, you can cook, oh, may God help you, or whatever, so that you can get a big person wey get sense. No go wait till he get a big restaurant. He can start cooking from one small cooler and be selling. But when you are saying it to them like you want to bring them down, the one that broke me most is, there is a building being constructed opposite our house, and the man came out. He said, there is no woman working there. He said, the old man said, they laughed at me. So many ways to bring you down, to bring your spirit down. So many ways that look like the person is laying a curse on you. He looked at me, he said, see, and we alone share bricklayer and benye. That is, now your mate, they do bricklayer, now your mate, they carry cement. There, he laughed. He left. I went in. I wept. I said, God, if I know what I know today, I will not make that prayer. I am telling you. I wept and I hit my hand on the ground. I said, God, this thing this man is wishing me, he will do it. He will be the one to carry bricklayer. Less than a year after I left their house, things fall apart, and he eventually carried that bricklayer. Today, I am still reversing and praying that way, canceling it. Because as a family that is close to you, they become a bit of your responsibility. Now, why am I telling you all this? Stop using your words to pull people down. Stop using your words to laugh at others. Some people, their spirits are strong. When they shed tears from their heart, tears of pain, that one pained me that day. I shed tears from my heart and I hit my hand on the ground. I tell God, I say he will be the one to carry it. Don't make people feel less of whom they are. Some of you don't need spiritual work. There is nothing wrong with you. Because even when you're doing the spiritual work, the spiritual exercise, you still go back to be inhuman to others. Start working from that. Look deep inside you. How you treat others matters. Because the way you do, they speak out a word of either blessing or curse to the universe, to you. And can I tell you something? As time goes on, those words manifest. Sit down, think, and ask yourself, that which if I do to another, if done to me, I wouldn't love it. How would I do it to another, and how do they feel? Put them in your shoe. Let's start by arranging or correcting some things character-wise. Then, by the grace of God, to some of us, you realize that you don't even need to buy a clean soap, clean all the things will begin to fall in place for you. Search yourself. Stop being inhuman. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. It's none other person but Gloria Cheesy. Oh, thank you.